развитии сотрудничества между Россией и Индией в области информационных технологий и цифровизации нам расскажет Дебджит Чакрабарти, директор совместного российско-индийского интегратора Rising. Debjit, здравствуйте. As far as I know, there are a large number of important solutions on the Indian software market, primarily from the US and the European Union. The same applies to the IT equipment market. At the same time, the Indian political leadership, as well as the Russian one, choose a course towards technological sovereignty. What steps should be taken?
There's an initiative which has been taken by the Indian government, and that is very much aligned with Russians' overall technological, way forward, and that is, look for technology sovereignty. When I say technology sovereignty, it's, make in India technology, which is something which is partly, or it can't be mostly, but partly independent of the West, right? For that, we are partnering with our Russian counterparts, Russian companies, Russian industry in the software, and we are in touch with Russoft, TSEA, Technology Sovereignty Export Association, Russoft, and with them we are partnering to transfer technologies, import technologies from Russia, and build something within India, which is indigenous. Which is indigenous in different fields, different critical areas like cyber security, operating systems, artificial intelligence, etc. So that's the plan. That is what we call our technology sovereignty. Sovereign technology which is independent of any external waste or any external third party, something which is very indigenous to our country. And it is very much aligned with the Make in India, Make in India dreams of our Honorable Prime Minister as of now.
Last year, your association signed a memorandum of cooperation with the Russian Russoft. The goal was to develop business communication between Russia and India in the IT sector. What projects do you plan to implement as part of the partnership?
So right now, as I said, there are some critical areas like trusted OS, like we are planning to build a Make in India laptops and desktops which are manufactured in India, where the OS, the operating system, for example, we transfer the technology from Russia. We transfer the technology from Russia, package it, built it, transfer the technology and built it, put it on our India laptops and sell it under the Make in India brand. So OS is one. We are planning to do something on the artificial intelligence. There are some discussions which are also happening with the Russoft companies around drone technology. It's not that we are getting drones from Russia, but we are trying to get the technology from Russia. Like in India, drone manufacturing has a wide gamut right now. Primarily when I say drones, it's commercial drones, not in defense. Okay, it is more in agriculture, healthcare, and all. So we are trying to get technology. Till now, we were getting technology from other countries like China and all, but right now with the incubation and the type of friendship or partnership we are forging with Russia, now we are trying to get the similar technologies, say drone technology, artificial intelligence, cyber security, operating systems, all from Russia. Import the technology along with an Indian technology partner, build something together and sell it in the market. So the plan is right now to sell it in the Indian markets and also going forward to sell it in the BRICS Plus nations, the other friendly countries like Brazil, Africa. Africa is a long explored or unexplored market, you can say, partly explored and unexplored market, where we can take these products going forward. We are also having some plans in the smart city also, because there are lots of smart city projects which are going on in India, different states. India has many states, and the smart city projects which are happening are partly or fully in some states in India. So we are also planning some partnership in the smart city components or the entire gamut of smart city solutions.
It is planned to open a Russian-Indian R&D center of software and hardware complexes in one of the Indian states. Tell us about this project in more detail.
In the month of March, there were senior delegates, including Russoft, senior delegates from TSEA, and who were in Uttar Pradesh, the state you're talking about, the Uttar Pradesh government. So they have given a red carpet to some of the Russian technology companies to come, partner, and they are offering a land. We call it the defense corridor. It's the defense corridor. It's a land and an area which they are offering where Russian companies and Indian companies can join hands and get into joint ventures, create joint ventures in the state of Uttar Pradesh. That is one, that is more on the production side. Like whatever technologies we are talking about, that will form a joint venture between a Russian company and an Indian company, and in the state of Uttar Pradesh, in the place we are calling the defense corridor. So, and in defense corridor, there is a concept called Asian Silicon Valley. The first Asian Silicon Valley is in the state of Tamil Nadu. That's the southern part of India. The second one is being built in the state of Uttar Pradesh, and we have a go-ahead from the Uttar Pradesh government, with whom our Russian friends had made. We are also there, and there is some partnership which is being planned, and some joint ventures and some companies who will be, setting up their office, their factories in the state of Uttar Pradesh. That is on the production. And when you're talking of R&D, see, one thing which we believe, my chamber which I represent, the Chamber for Indo-Russia Technology Collaboration, the chamber which I represent, and also India in the technology field, like given my experience over the last 25 years in the technology, we are also setting up or have already set up a center of excellence or a lab in Kanpur University. And Kanpur University, it's one of the largest universities in India. So there we have set up a university who will be doing in that university we have set up a lab or center of excellence where lots of R&D work will be done in partnership with Russia again, with the Russian technology companies, right? So they will be training some of the trainers, professors or teachers in Kanpur University who will learn, absorb, and then propagate it to the students. Because what we want to do, how the Indian technology has excelled. It is not, because in Indian technology we have these white-collared workers, like the engineers, and there are a gamut of engineering colleges in India. Kanpur University, for example, has many colleges under it, who offer science and technology courses to students. So once we train them up, they are the future for India, the future for the technology, right? So they are the ones who will help, first learn, incubate, and then take the technology forward. So that way, the R&D is very important, and that has to go hand in hand with the industrial production which we are planning. So the institution and university collaboration is something we are doing, and we are doing it actively with help from our Russian companies and Russian institutions, and of course with Russoft.
In one of your interviews, you noticed that there are no integrated ecosystems between India and Russia that can stimulate business and innovation. How can this problem be solved, in your opinion?
Yeah, as I told you, like the R&D which I just spoke about, right? See, what is important, like what we have been discussing from day one with our Russian counterparts, with Russoft and all, when our chamber, Indo-Russia chamber, they interact with Russoft and TSE more than a year back now. The one thing we said, look, we don't need Russian companies to come and sell in India. India is not a place for selling. What we want to do, because if you talk about any product, you will see the similar product, not one, not two, not five, not 10, even more than that, who are already there in India. Because the Make in India, the Make in India scheme in India has been so strong that there are many startups. In fact, the startup ecosystem in India is very strong, right? So incubating the startup ecosystem is one of the areas in which we are trying to collaborate with our Russian counterparts, with our BRICS counterparts, and try to nurture the startup story in India. Because every startup has a good idea. A startup does not come with an idea or a technology which is already existing. It's with a new technology. It's a new idea, a new concept, which has to be incubated. That is where we are trying to forge partnership with our Russian counterparts and come out and create something which is joint. When I talk about joint ventures, the idea of joint venture is not getting a Russian product, technology product, and with some Indian companies selling it in India. No, it is like Russian company A, Indian company B. Indian company B can be an established Indian company, or it can be a startup in India who come together. Our chamber and Rooftop are the matchmakers, like in a marriage. We ensure that they marry into each other and they create a new solution. That is how the R&D will happen. That is how, if you're right, if you have seen my last interview, we don't have integrated solution. What we have are separate solution, Russian product, Indian product, Brazilian product, etc., etc. But what the call of the hour for the BRICS nations especially is to build platforms and solutions together and then take it to whatever countries it could be. It could be Africa, it could be India, it could be Russia, it could be China or whatever. So that is what I mean by integrated solution, which we can call sovereign, technology sovereign solutions, which probably going forward can be called solution which belongs to BRICS plus nations. So that's the thing. That is what I mean by the integrated solution.
Tell us about the Make in India project. What is the mission?
There are lots of initiatives which has been taken up by our current government here. Like India, the Indian government and the Indian industry wants to make the entire country digitally smart. There are many, initiatives which have been taken up, I am myself, connected with at least 3-4 such, startup ecosystem in India, yeah. And these startup ecosystems are the one who will help propagate the Make in India story, because they have a concept which we need to incubate. Now, along with that concept, if we get a partner from another country, Russia in this case, together we build something which is, again, as I said, not Make in India. We always have been hearing for the last 10-20 years Make in India, but now we want to make it Make by India, because a Make in India will always have an external component. Like we were selling something, we were saying Make in India, but it had just an example, okay, don't get me wrong, like a Chinese component. But now we want to have something where there will be no other brands. It will be just Indian products, Indian components, be it drone, be it operating system, be it laptops, be it whatever. What we are doing, we are transferring the technology. We are transferring the technology, like if there's a technology built by XYZ, company XYZ in Russia or any other country, we bring the technology to the country. We are not bringing the components of the product to the country. We are bringing the technology to the country, and along with the Indian partner can be a mid-sized company, it could be a startup. We are more gung-ho on the startup, because that is one area where our Indian government is highly focused, how to incubate a startup ecosystem. So bring the technology, import the technology, top it up on top of the startup product, the startup's idea, whatever it might be, and create a new technology, a new platform, a new solution, which will be, we call the Make in India. And this is just not in technology. Technology is an area because that is our area, right, the technology. So this is a similar concept which the Indian government has been taken up in all the product lines, all different product lines. Not only in technology, in other related fields as well. Electronics, hardware, and name it, everywhere.
Are there any plans to cooperate in introducing an artificial intelligence technology into the industrial sector of both countries?
See, Gen AI and artificial intelligence is the future. We all know, right? So going forward, I think, people are scared that artificial intelligence will steal their jobs. So I tell them, no, artificial intelligence is not going to steal any jobs. See, tomorrow, today you have a technology. Tomorrow AI will replace the technology. But you need someone to learn that AI who will replace the technology. So that way the manpower requirement will be the same. So AI is not stealing our job, but AI will make us more self-sustaining, be it in healthcare, be it in agriculture, be it any industry, right? Artificial intelligence will be of prominence importance. For example, I'm giving you a simple example in healthcare. Like artificial intelligence has been using sensor-based, IoT-based artificial intelligence tools are being used to for a doctor to communicate with the patients. You know this, right? This is nothing new with the patients. Even the patients might be in one city and the doctor will be maybe in some other country, not in the same country, right? Similarly in EdTech, like we are collaborating with our Russian company here in EdTech, with whom, in fact, we have already formed a joint venture in India with this Russian company and in EdTech. And we will be using robots and artificial intelligence to teach the class 11 and class 12 students physics, chemistry, maths, biology. So they are not replacing the teachers, they are not replacing the professors. It is just this artificial intelligence or the robots. Suppose they have learned something from the teachers which they don't recollect. Suddenly at 11 o'clock in the night, say, what did the teacher tell me? He can't dial up the teacher will fire him. He can probably go to this robot, like, Mr. Robot, can you give me some more lessons on this, the artificial intelligence. So that way, the robot or the AI can be the student's friend going forward, right? The AI in learning, he can do it anytime or every time. Similarly, if in a classroom, there are some students who are very shy, like there are intelligent students who keep on asking questions and saying, yes sir, yes ma'am, I understand. But there are some shy students who are reluctant. What will he or she do? He can use the robot or the artificial intelligence going back home to probably quietly listen to the AI, and then learn from the AI, right? But all this also is good, it looks good. Technologically, it looks very efficient, very helpful for us going forward, but it also has risks, because all your data is now being put on platforms which are not, servers which are, in your office. Most of the data, are on cloud. So that has, risk of data leakage. So I know there are lots of, DLP, data leakage prevention, acts, data leakage prevention platforms which are being incubated. But important thing is we have to see how reliable, number one, and how good these AI tools are. So one initiative which you must be knowing, which we have taken up between a technical committee of the Russian government, I think TC 196 or something, sorry, I'm forgetting. It's one of the technical committees which is related to artificial intelligence with the Russian government, and some of the universities in India, and the TCOE, which is the Telecom Center of Excellence. So there are scientists from this entity and the technical committee of the Russian government for artificial intelligence. They are tied up, and they are creating something called the AI testing lab, which means going forward, and we have chosen two areas, healthcare and agriculture. Any new platform which comes up, any new platform, AI related platform, in healthcare and agriculture, wherever it comes in from, how secure they are, how reliable they are. That testing is something which we are running the pilot run now. We are doing the pilot run, but that testing is something we are doing in partnership, like between India and Russia. Like this particular committee which we have formed between scientists from India and counterparts from Russia. We have formed a lab to devise something called the common AI policies, and also the lab will be testing some of the new artificial intelligence tool cell platforms which are coming in healthcare, in agriculture, and see first of all how reliable the data is and how secure the data is. So that is something which you are doing right now. In fact, we had a workshop just a couple of weeks back, which should hit the media very soon. And going forward, we want to replicate this with other BRIC nations as well. As I told you, the BRIC plus nations.
And which Russian companies Indian industrialists are interested in?
There are quite many. In fact, I have an NDA with them. I'm sorry, I can't disclose the name. But for the EdTech, I can tell you, because in EdTech, it's CDO Global. CDO Global, with whom we have already formed a joint venture in India for taking these AI-based teachers or digital teachers or whatever you call them, taking them to students in India. So CDO Global is one example. It's a EdTech company which is set up in India. But the others I am under NDA, so I really can't disclose it openly. Yeah.